Welcome back to the Quantum Series. This is Manal Zainuddin, and I share here with you conscious learning and being, an aspect of my approach in education. I always share Plutarch's famous saying, "The mind is not a vessel to be filled, but a fire to be kindled." Education is much beyond schoolwork and the schooling that we all know. Education is never, ever separate from us as conscious beings. This is the third and last part of the Observer Effect series, and it is coming after months of my withdrawal from social media. This alone is a topic for other videos, but for now, remembering together the double-slit experiment and how electrons, when projected onto a surface, they produce an interference pattern that looks like a wave, interference of dark and bright areas, and only when it is not observed. When observed, those same electrons produce two lines instead, proving that at quantum level, electrons can be either a particle or a wave, depending on whether they are observed. In this third and last part of the observer effect, we talk about 3 more points. Point number 1, photography. In our world, photographs are part of our daily life, whether physical or digital, as most are now. They are the snapshots in which time is frozen and memories are captured. Max Depatie, a photographer and artist, explains photography in one of his articles that I will link below. And I quote, "A camera is an excuse to perform, and for others it's a cue to hide. Either way, it's undeniable that the sheer presence of camera and photographer alter the people who are aware of its presence. It calls into the validity of a double-blind experiment. This is the social layer to the observer effect," end quote. And when we really think about it, we find it very interesting. Why do we take photos? Is it always to solidify a memory? When we stand or pose in front of the lens for the say cheese moment, are we always aware of our feelings or thoughts during those flashy seconds? And when the photographer prepares his camera to take that photo, he is adjusting his lens. He is sending out waves that interact with other waves, causing disruption that cannot be seen by the naked eye, but it is happening at a quantum level. Point number 2, which is authenticity and ethics, and this is closely related to the first point. What reality are we showing? Depatie explains more in his article from a scientific point of view. So when we think about the interference, it is the dark and the bright, it's the constructive and the destructive. Are our photos or the photos we are taking projecting reality as it is, distorting reality, or even not relating to it in any way, shape, or form? What roles are we playing in our communities, small or big? Do we anticipate consequences before we project a certain thought or image? In point number 3, control. Shakespeare says in one of his comedies that the world is a stage, and all men and women are merely players who have their exits and their entrances. If life is a stage and we are all players, then there will definitely be audience or observers. As players or actors, we agree about our roles. Before we go on stage, we agree beforehand to be the hero, the villain, or the neutral. We agree to win and save all the others, or to harm and even kill, or simply be there as a character, just helping drive the plot. The key here is that we accept taking these roles and we live them for an hour or two to the fullest with all their obligations, because we are observed. We may even be applauded, but still, it is a character we already know about. But are our life incidents known to us? Do we get the chance to choose and accept certain roles? While we may choose certain situations and scenarios, the bigger portion is something that we cannot control. We plan and we set goals to show ourselves in the best way possible to ourselves and to our observers. But most of the time, we are forced to change our course, and we do more willingly when we are not observed, because if we are observed, we will resist the change. We will resent our life and even stand still, and even more, give up. So what are we conscious of? Can we be more attentive to details, Or maybe we need sometimes to disregard certain matters, and for what reasons? As we end the Observer Effect Part 3, I thank you so much for being here. And if you haven't watched the first and the second part, I invite you to do so and also share and like this content if it gives you some value, so that it reaches more educators, more parents, and more like-minded people. And let's all remember, knowledge is as vast as the world. Awareness is as vast as the cosmos. And this is what we deserve. We deserve no less, because we are more.